What's up, you guys? My name is Sydalexandria, and today we are going to be talking about dreaming, specifically lucid dreams. If you guys don't know what a lucid dream is, people often describe it as being in a dream and being aware that you are in the dream, so therefore you can control what happens in your dream. It doesn't just mean that you can go around flying and seeing these cool things that you've always wanted to experience. Obviously, that's cool, but you can work through past traumas by doing this because you can relive that situation, change the ending, change how you react to certain things. You can practice having conversations with people. There are so many things you can do when you can control your dream. And even if you don't get fully lucid and have full control over exactly everything in the dream, you can at least control how you react to the situations in the dream that you are experiencing or thrown in by your sub and unconscious mind. Those are the kind of lucid dreams I've had thus far without really trying. The kind where it's a dream that I've been thrown in, but I end up being able to control parts of the dream. And therefore, I fully flip the script. I one time had a dream with somebody in it, and I didn't want them in the dream, so I rewrote the dream without them in it. You can control how you react to certain situations in the dream, and then you can also control how other people react to those situations in the dream. You can control the situation itself. Or if you are really advanced at this, you can go wherever you want to in the dream and do whatever you want to do. I want to talk just about the different kinds of dreams before we really get started. A lot of people have dreams that are just some weird subconscious subliminal message they caught on to throughout the day. They watched a commercial about something and now that thing is popping up in their dream. Or they were thinking about somebody messaging that person that day, so then they're in their dream. They know they have to go to work tomorrow, so they have a dream that they're going to be late to work. Those are just average Joe kind of dreams. We all have them from time to time, even if we remember them or not. There's probably going to be people commenting, "Oh, I don't dream that often." Yes, you do. You just don't remember it. It happens to the best of us. I don't remember all of my dreams. Most nights I remember at least one dream, sometimes multiple dreams per night. But we do all dream. And if you guys want to eventually be able to lucid dream, that is something you need to know how to do, is remember your dreams, because you could be lucid dreaming and just not remember it. So if you want to remember lucid dreams that you have to remember average Joe dreams that you have as well. You have to remember dreams that feel like parallel lives that you have, if you guys have those. I don't know about you, but I have dreams that feel very real and significant, and that there's more emotion tied to than just these, what I call average Joe dreams. The majority of my dreams, I feel like I have more of a connection to. I'm not, thinking about work the next day. I didn't watch a commercial with something in it. I wasn't messaging somebody. They did just pop up in my dream. I wasn't thinking about them. They weren't in my life, but they were in the dream. Then you've got these psychic or intuitive dreams, even mediumship dreams, where people who are already dead can visit you in your dreams, or where there's a situation with somebody and it literally feels like you are interacting with that soul in this astral dream realm. That's what I would call like karmic dreams, and working through this relationship karma with other people in the astral realm. There's often dreams that are metaphors that have symbolism in them that you can interpret. I have other videos on this, and I'll leave the link to my Sleep and Dreams playlist down below. Obviously, sleep and dreams are just so fascinating. What goes on with your brain? There's been lots of creative people throughout history that know the significance of that time in between wakefulness and sleep, and how you can get lots of creative ideas. I often have amazing ideas when I'm trying to fall asleep, so then I have to roll over and grab my phone and type it in my notes real quick that, I had these awesome ideas, and then I can organize my ideas the next morning, but I want to write it down or type it out so I don't forget it, because when you're falling asleep, these amazing creative things from the ethers pop into your mind, right? It's similar to when you're in the shower and you're very relaxed and you have all these great ideas. It's also similar to when you're driving and you're kind of relaxed in this flow state, so you have all of these ideas. Thomas Edison used to fall asleep holding a ball or holding something so that when he would fall asleep, it would drop and it would wake him up. So then he would get these amazing creative ideas in those moments when he was woken up from the ball, because he had just drifted off to sleep. It's kind of like when you have those great ideas falling asleep, but times 10 probably, because he was already asleep, so he's even deeper. And he goes in with the intention to get these ideas or to see what comes through, so he's grasping that wisdom between wakefulness and sleep. There's people who fall asleep with their hand in like an OK shape, so then when you drift off to sleep, your fingers kind of come apart, but when they do, put them back together. When they come apart, put them back together, and just make yourself keep doing that. That can also kind of induce a lucid dream, people say, but I feel like that is also a way to get good ideas. Even if you can't fully get to the lucid dream, you can still experience some of these wisdom thoughts that come to you during that time. People also say that if you look at your hands in your dream, that can induce a lucid dream, but I feel like you kind of have to be in a lucid dream to be able to look at your hands. I don't know. Maybe if you set the intention beforehand throughout the day, like in my dream tonight, I'm gonna look at my hands, and that's gonna induce a lucid dream. That's the number one tip people give, by the way, to achieve lucid dreams, is to affirm that to yourself throughout your day, every day. Just think to yourself whenever you remember, I'm good at lucid dreaming. I'm going to have a lucid dream tonight. Tonight I'm going to remember my dream. Even if you're not trying to get to this lucid dream state, but you're trying to remember your dream, just reaffirm throughout the day that I can remember my dreams. I'm capable of that. Tonight I'm going to remember my dream. Tonight I'm going to dream. I'm going to be aware of it. Whatever, affirmation or mantra that you want to say works for you, do that. Throughout my life, I've had phases where I have a really hard time falling asleep, and sometimes it happens randomly. Just one night, it's really hard for me to fall asleep. I don't know if my adrenaline is up or what, or I'm excited about something, or I'm thinking. But when that happens, when I'm having trouble falling asleep, I tell myself, close your eyes, don't think about anything, just focus on whatever dream you want to have, and then eventually you kind of get thrown into a dream about that. I might not remember it all the time, but I do that pretty often, and that's how you have to fall asleep sometimes. Close your eyes, don't open them up for nothing, just focus on falling asleep and, create a dream that you want to be thrown into. That's actually very much so like the WILD method, WILD, which is a wake-induced lucid dream. Another popular method of lucid dreaming is the MILD technique, which stands for mnemonic induction of lucid dreams. It was created by Dr. Stephen LaBerge, I think is how you say his name. He was a part of the Lucidity Institute, where they were doing all sorts of research specifically on lucid dreaming in the 1970s. He came up with this MILD technique, where the first step is dream recall, which is really simple. Just already be able to recall your dreams. That's the first step. And I think I might do a video just simply on how to remember your dreams in the future, because a lot of people have issues with it. And I did for a while too. When I was a kid, I would remember my dreams sometimes. When I was a teenager, it was kind of rare. And then now I'm remembering my dreams almost every single night, and I have been for the past 4 or 5 years now. Once you get into the habit of writing your dreams down in the morning and just thinking about them right when you wake up, it gets to be like second nature to you, and you almost always remember them. Let me know if you guys want a video on tips and tricks to remember your dreams. Anyways, the second step of this is reality checks. I think this is kind of weird, but people always say this about lucid dreaming, is that you need to do reality checks just throughout the day when you know that you're awake, but don't know that you're awake, okay? So have that mindset of throughout the day, is this real? Can I put my finger through my palm right now? Can I breathe when I plug my nose right now? if you can put your finger through your palm, if you can breathe while your nose is plugged, you're probably lucid dreaming, or you're probably dreaming and that just, catapulted you into the lucid dream experience, right? That's the point of doing these reality checks. Another thing is you can look at the clock. You can look at like a digital clock. You can look at a clock on the wall, see what time it is. In my dreams, the time usually doesn't make sense, or the time will change at a rate that does not make sense. Words in dreams don't always look correct. Letters, numbers, they get jumbled up in this weird way. But if throughout the day, while you're awake in your everyday life, you do one of these reality checks, it gets you into that habit. And it also gets you to understand that dreams can feel that real, because when you're in a dream, it does feel that real most of the time. So the next step, you can do this throughout the day, but also it's important to do right before you fall asleep. Lucid affirmations. So, like I said, throughout the day, you can just think that I'm so good at remembering my dreams. I'm so good at lucid dreaming. Tonight, I'm going to have a dream. Tonight, I'm going to remember my dream. Tonight, I'm going to have a lucid dream. Whatever affirmations work for you, say that. If it's right before you're falling asleep, you can say, I am dreaming. I am aware that I am dreaming, or I am in a lucid dream right now, or the next thing that I see is going to be a dream. Whatever you want to say or think. This is that mnemonic induction of lucid dream aspect to it. In case you guys don't know what mnemonic means, it's basically a way of learning, or a learning technique that aids in your memory. It's basically this subliminal message that you're repeating to yourself that you're dreaming. It's similar to these experiments that have been done actually, where people say, think of a rabbit, think of a rabbit, think of a rabbit, dream of a rabbit. And then the people dream of a rabbit. Or think of a fork, dream of a fork, and then they dream about a fork. So it's that, but it's just repeating that you're having a lucid dream. You're controlling your dream. If you want, you can get specific about it and say that tonight I want to have a lucid dream with this person, or in this place. I want to go to this place in my dream. That would be really cool to do. But just in general, for this mild technique, it's, I'm in a lucid dream. I'm going to have a lucid dream tonight. So then, the final step, visualize your dream. You can re-experience a past dream that you've had, but rewrite the ending. Visualize this in great detail, and then you can look for any dream signs in this dream. And if you don't know what a dream sign is, it is like a distinctive, reoccurring element in dreams, objects, people, places, or events that stand out or carry strong emotional weight, reflecting the dreamer's subconscious and helping trigger lucid dreaming or deeper self-reflection. So yes, that's what online says dream signs are, because I wasn't really sure. That's kind of what I thought they were. Sounds kind of self-explanatory, but I thought that explanation was a little helpful. You remember a dream that you've had before. While you're laying down about to fall asleep, you just visualize the scenery of that dream in great detail. This is similar to the wild technique, where you just envision what you want to envision. But with this mild technique, you envision a past dream, so then you can get there. And then you can realize that you're dreaming, change the end of that dream, or go wherever you want to go because you're lucid at that point. With the wild experience, you're awake and, dreaming before you fall asleep, really, because you're envisioning it. But with this mild technique, you're falling asleep before you enter this dream. So when Dr. Stephen LaBerge was doing this research on lucid dreaming, and while he was developing this mild technique, he found that certain interruptions and regular sleep patterns improved the success rate. So these included waking up to have sex, to vomit, to meditate. This led him to conclude that wakefulness interjected during sleep increases your chance of becoming lucid. Basically, what this means is if you wake up for whatever reason after you have already been asleep, and then you go back to sleep, you're more likely to have a lucid dream. I can 100% agree with this. Even when I was a kid, this happened to me a ton, but it happens to me now still. So if I get woken up either in the middle of the night and go back to sleep, then, I'm more likely to remember the dreams from that tail end of the night after I woke up to go to the bathroom or whatever. But even if I wake up in the morning on a lazy weekend when I was a kid, and then I realize I'm still tired, so I go back to sleep, a lot of the times I'll get thrown back into the same dream that I was in, but at that point I'm lucid and I can control it more. That's happened to me so many times. That's usually the type of lucid dream I have, or a dream where I feel like I can usually control certain aspects of the dream. That's actually basically what the DEILD technique is: dream exit induced lucid dreams. Wake up, go back to sleep into the dream that you were in, but control it. I don't know if that's specifically what Dr. Stephen LaBerge was talking about, or if he was just talking about waking up, going back to sleep, and then having a different dream that was lucid, or if he was talking about the same exact dream that you were in before. Probably both. While I was doing a little bit of research for this video earlier today, I came across this guy on YouTube, Daniel Love, and he has a ton of freaking videos on lucid dreaming. Like, that's what his channel is about. But I came across this one video he had and I watched it. Just so happened to be about this technique called translocation, which I find really interesting and I would like to try this. Basically, it's stemming from the fact that you are more likely to remember your dreams, to lucid dream in places that are not where you usually sleep. If you're on vacation, if you're sleeping in the living room instead of your bedroom, or what have you. And I feel like I can relate to that because when I'm on vacation or something, I feel like I dream more. I remember my dreams a tad more. Like I said, I remember my dreams almost every night, but maybe when I'm on vacation, I'm remembering like 5 dreams a night instead of 3. So with this translocation technique that Daniel was talking about, he said sleep 4 to 5 hours as normal, then wake up. You can wake up naturally, or you can set a timer. A lot of people do this to have lucid dreams. They'll like set a timer after 4 or 5 hours. Wake up, stay awake for really however long you feel like. Could be 5 minutes, could be half hour, and then go back to sleep. But with this translocation technique, he says to relocate. So if you sleep in a bed, I sleep on the floor, but if you're sleeping in your bed as normal, you wake up, go to the bathroom, come back to your bed and just sleep in your bed like facing the other way. Or instead of going to your bed, you could go sleep on the couch, could go sleep on the floor, pull a Sydney there, relocate yourself, and then you're more likely to remember your dreams and or to have a lucid dream. I want to talk more about these dream signs and how to kind of catapult yourself into a lucid dream once you're already dreaming real quick. So let's say you guys are in a dream. Look for things that you maybe told yourself earlier that day, that when I see the clock in the dream, I'm going to know that I'm dreaming and have a lucid dream. Or when I see the white rabbit in the dream, I'm going to know that I'm dreaming and then I'm going to have a lucid dream. You could do that. Or kind of the way that I do it is if somebody does something, says something, goes somewhere that I don't like in a dream, I just end up rewriting that part of the dream while I'm dreaming usually. It's like a personal boundary thing. Like if something that I don't like is happening in the dream, my consciousness kind of steps in and redoes it. Or if I'm having like a really, really good dream, I find myself also being able to control it or tweak it so it's just even more perfect. If I'm having a really good conversation with someone, I'm having a really good like reunion with someone in my dream, I find that I can control the conversation, control the actions, just enhance the dream even more however I want to. So using what happens in the dream to spark your emotions about, oh, I like that, let's do more of that, I don't like that, let's do less of that or change that somehow. Also need to mention real quick, always envision protection around yourself before doing this. If you are trying to have a lucid dream and going into one with that intention, remember this protection around you, this bubble, this aura, this light, however you want to see it. Know that it's always there, even if you forget about it. I have other videos on this. I just made a video on astral projection as well, and I mentioned that in that video. I also want to say that lucid dreaming is similar to astral projection and that you need to relax your body first, but you're trying to fall asleep while you're lucid dreaming, so I feel like that's more so common sense for this, to lay flat on your back, lay however you want to lay, but people say it's easier to lucid dream on your back. I feel like every time I've lucid dreamed, it's probably been on my side because I'm more of a side sleeper. Do whatever works for you. Clear your mind, have that meditation moment, but lucid dreaming is literally while you're asleep, so I feel like that's kind of common sense to people. I just wanted to mention that real quick. I'm gonna leave links to the astral projection video that I did and protection videos that I've done, this protection visualization, as well as my sleep and dreams playlist. So thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.